Coming up on Tech News today, BlackBerry Torch is out. Is it hot? We'll tell you. Also, Google Earth spying on pool scofflaws and disturbing my chickens. And Apple, what are you going to do with Lala? We may have a hint for you. Stay tuned.
Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Bandwidth for Tech News Today is provided by Cachefly at CACHEFLY.com.
This is Tech News Today for Tuesday, August 3rd, 2010. Tech News Today is brought to you by GoToAssist Express. If you're in tech support, save time and money by supporting your clients and colleagues remotely with GoToAssist Express. For a free 30-day trial, visit gotoassist.com/TNT. Welcome to Tech News Today. I'm Tom Merritt.
I'm Becky Worley.
Behind the board is our prismatic producer, Erik.
How are you guys?
He just lets the light flow through him.
Oh, I sense his aura.
Yeah. That was suggested in email right before the show.
Nice.
Yeah. This is the show where we kick around the tech news of the day, try to make it make some sense. BlackBerry Torch has got everybody all excited.
It is. If you're a BlackBerry devotee, you gotta have it.
It's the first BlackBerry smartphone. Wait, it's the first BlackBerry with a touchscreen. No, it's really cool.
It's a Palm Pre.
It's launching August 12th on AT&T for $200. It's exclusive to AT&T, and it is the next greatest hope for letting people know just how great BlackBerries are.
Here's what it has. It has a touch screen. It has a slide-out keyboard. It has the BlackBerry 6.0 operating system. It has an app store that lets you charge to your cell phone bill instead of PayPal. Hello. It has visual voicemail. And let's hit the specs really quick. 3.2-inch capacitive touch screen, 5.5-ounce weight, optical trackpad, 5-megapixel still camera and video camera with a flash. Doesn't have front-facing camera, flash support on the web, and it doesn't come on Verizon, T-Mobile, or Sprint.
Oh, so it's like the iPhone.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a flash and doesn't come on anything but AT&T.
Yeah, pretty much. $199 for a 2-year contract. I think that the BlackBerry folks, this is a good solution if you are tied to BlackBerry. No?
Yeah, if you are a BlackBerry addict, this is going to be the hottest phone you can find. And everyone is seeing it as BlackBerry trying to get back into the smartphone game. BlackBerry is the #2 best-selling phone out there behind Nokia, but a lot of people have been seeing their share of that smartphone pie decrease versus the Android handsets and the iPhone handsets. So I think there's a lot to love about this. It's got some great video capture. It's got the same thing the Windows Phone 7 will have, where it can take all of your social networking and integrate it into one view. So you don't even need an app for it necessarily. It's got BlackBerry OS 6, which is the first phone to have BlackBerry 6. And that has a lot of fun, cool stuff in it as well. But the upshot, I've been reading review after review after review, and the pundits out there basically seem to think this is a really great BlackBerry phone, but it's not going to win anyone over from Android or iPhone.
Right. It doesn't seem like it's going to leapfrog them into a competitive space, but it might stop the bleeding.
Yeah, I mean, it gets them back in the game, and it provides a lot of really cool features. But overall, it is for BlackBerry users already, right?
Right. And for corporate users who have to stay BlackBerry, have begged and pleaded for other smartphones, and their deployment center has said, nope, we're doing BlackBerry, that's what we're doing. And this is the best you can do in that. And hey, there are a lot of people who are BlackBerry crazy. This is a good solution for them.
If this were not on AT&T, if this were on, say, T-Mobile, I think it'd be killer. Because then people could say, oh, I'll leave AT&T and I'll get a great capacitive touchscreen phone. It's very responsive. It's got an average-looking screen, but it's got some cool features, and I really like the BlackBerry OS 6. The fact that it's on AT&T means that you're not going to steal anyone away from the iPhone crowd. You're probably not going to steal that many people away from the Android crowd because nobody is dying to be on AT&T, and AT&T has crappy Android phones. Right.
It's really the enterprise hold-on from the folks at Research in Motion. We'll see.
But it puts them back. It puts them back in the race, and it's a good phone. I like it. In fact, reading about it today, I was kind of tempted to get one.
Do you think it'll make phone calls?
You know what? No, probably won't. None of these things make phone calls anymore. What are you talking about?
No, that'll be the side-by-side with this versus the iPhone. Somebody will do that where they actually figure out, okay, how do the drops compare?
You won't be able to make You will be able to make phone calls with it in the United Arab Emirates, but you won't be able to use email, instant messaging, or web browsing. They say starting October 11th, UAE will ban RIM from providing email, instant messaging, and web browsing on BlackBerry devices unless they reach an agreement by that time. And we also now have Kuwait getting into the ring, saying they've asked RIM to cut off access to porn sites on the web browsing, and Saudi Arabia would like RIM to turn off the instant messenger, the messenger app. All of these because the governments in question feel that they can't adequately spy on criminals who use BlackBerries. They're calling it a security measure.
And this just creates a real conundrum for Research in Motion. And they've issued a statement saying they are working with the regulatory requirements of the government and the security and privacy needs of corporations and consumers, but they are, quote, assuring its customers that it's committed to continue delivering highly secure and innovative products that satisfy the needs of both customers and governments. Yeah, good luck with that. In this case, I don't think you can do both of those things.
The United Arab Emirates ambassador said in response to the State Department, which called the decision of UAE disappointing, it said, we're disappointed in you, U.S., and they say that it contradicts the U.S. government's own approach to telecommunications regulation. Here's the interesting quote. UAE requires the same compliance as the U.S. for the very same reasons, to protect national security and to assist in law enforcement. It is regrettable that after several years of discussions, BlackBerry is still not compliant with UAE regulatory requirements, even as it complies with similar policies in other countries. That's a stretch, right? I don't think, because what BlackBerry's saying is, look, the encryption key for someone's BlackBerry is in their BlackBerry. We don't have it. We can't just, UAE keeps saying, well, just hand us over the encryption keys when there's a warrant, when it's somebody.
Give us the master.
And BlackBerry's like, there's no master.
Right.
The key's there. Only the people have it. That's why we're such a good phone, because we're secure end to end. That's why you might want to get the BlackBerry Torch over the iPhone, because if you're worried about security, you're going to have an encrypted connection from end to end provided by BlackBerry. And the UAE just isn't listening. So BlackBerry is not caving in, at least not yet. They're saying, we're going to try to find a compromise. We're going to try to find a workaround that gets them to understand that we can't just give over the key. Maybe there's something else we can do to help identify the criminal and seize the phone. And I don't know. I don't know what else they could do. But
since so much of their enterprise business around the world is based on the sense of security that they provide and the privacy that they provide, they'd let a UAE go. They'd let a Kuwait go because it would seriously undermine their reputation as a secure corporate platform for communication.
Yeah, in fact, we had a caller. His caller was a little too long to play, but he said BlackBerry should use the slogan, so secure, developing nations won't even allow it. I mean, he was a citizen of the UAE, by the way. I should throw that out there. But there's a lot we don't know here. We're trusting RIM when they say there is no backdoor. Maybe the UAE ambassador knows something. Maybe there is a secret backdoor that only the U.S. has access to.
Tom, they're Canadian. I think we can trust them.
That's the quiet ones.
Oh,
they
really?
Always stay in their. They always stay in their country.
Oh, you
keep
think
to
so,
themselves.
Huh? I don't know.
You know, you got two neighbors here in the U.S., right? There's the rowdy ones down south, and there's the quiet ones up north. It's always the quiet ones you have to watch out for. All right, now that I've pissed off all of North America, let's move on to the FBI.
Let's piss off the American government.
Yes, let's finish that. Let's get the middle out of the way. FBI has ordered Wikipedia to remove its seal from the Wikipedia article, claiming that it violates a law that forbids making counterfeit badges.
Badges?
Badges? We're not making no stinking badges, said Wikipedia in response. Apparently in their response, they said many sites, including the online version of Encyclopedia Britannica, display the FBI seal. Other organizations might simply back down, but Wikipedia sent back a politely feisty response stating that the Bureau's lawyers had misquoted the law. I'm sorry, that was John Schwartz of the New York Times. Here's the quote from Wikipedia. While we appreciate your desire to revise the statute to reflect your expansive vision of it, the fact is that we must work with the actual language of the statute, not the aspirational version that the FBI had provided.
Bottom line, what the hell was the FBI thinking? It's a logo.
There's a law that says you can't use the FBI logo to represent yourself as being in some sort of position of authority.
Oh, gosh, I was so confused. I went to Wikipedia, and I actually thought it was the FBI, and so I gave them my Social Security number. I was so confused, Tom.
And Wikipedia has said in their letter back, like, the seal is in no way evidence of any intent to deceive, nor is it an assertion of authority, recognizable or otherwise.
So we were talking about this earlier. I like your theory. This is just like a major confusion point in the U.S. government. Give me your theory.
I'm just grasping at straws, because why would the FBI go after Wikipedia over the seal? Like, I just don't get it. And I'm like, did they think it was WikiLeaks? And they, and the entire U.S. government is really angry at WikiLeaks, and they're gunning for him. Did somebody just like get him confused, saw the wiki, and was like, "Yeah, we'll go after him for the badge too"? I don't know. I don't think that's true, but it's all I got. That's the way it makes
as plausible as any other reason for this. I actually did call the FBI's press office and ask what they were thinking. Shockingly, I have not heard back. We'll all wait with bated breath for me to get that call, and I'll be the first to let you know.
Because the person who sent this letter is in a back room being beaten with truncheons by their coworkers, like asking the same, what were you thinking?
But maybe the way I could get a call back is if on my website I put their logo, maybe then they'd contact me.
Well, that's the hilarious part of this. Like, every news outlet is taking great joy in placing the FBI logo prominently. Like,
on the story.
The BBC doesn't always use big logos like they're doing here. There was one blog I saw that like took a screenshot of the Google search. I think it may have been CNET. So there were like 18 FBI logos at the top of their story.
So great.
Yeah. Oh, and now, see, we just have to make sure we clarify that we are not representing any sort of authority, nor are we trying to deceive you.
I see that circle on your chest there, buddy. I see you impersonating.
Erik, on the other hand, is serving you a warrant, pretending to be the FBI.
Very confused.
All right.
You could get contacted by the government if you have a pool in your backyard.
You could get contacted by the local government in the town of Riverhead,
New York.
Yeah. It's a town on New York's Long Island, and they've been Long Island, is that what you're hoping I would say?
I just like the way you said it, as if it was an adjective.
That is one Long Island.
It's the way Long Island.
It's the way it's written in on this website here, silive.com.
Yes, on the Long Island.
On Long Island in Riverhead, they've been looking at Google Earth to find backyard pools and then searching through their records to see if there's a license for that pool, because there's certain licenses for safety concerns and electrical work and fencing and this and that.
They have to be permitted.
And so far, they've collected about $75,000 in fees by finding 250 pools in Riverhead that were not licensed.
Okay, so I spent some time researching this morning on this topic because I think this is fascinating. The comments section in all of the articles describing what happened here are just really polar in people's sense of things. One, it's public domain. You could get this from an aerial photograph. Why is this a privacy invasion? And then on the other side, people saying, "Hey, this is the ultimate Big Brother spying." It is interesting because, one, this started in Greece when they ran into their financial troubles. They started doing this exact same thing, looking for pools. That's, I'm sure, where this guy got the idea. They used to do it in Australia, looking for pools and other unpermitted outcroppings on buildings. In both those cases, they stopped because of the privacy concerns. So, what do you think is going to happen here?
Well, it's a brave new world, right? Because essentially, all that's happening is somebody is looking into your backyard from above. And if your house wasn't in the way or you didn't have a fence up, they'd be able to see it from the street, and you could get ticketed the same way. So what's the difference? The difference is you assumed up until now nobody would look from above. But what would be the difference if the city of Riverhead hired a helicopter and just went flying over? Is that a privacy invasion?
Well, yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. I think that we're going to see a ton more of this stuff as municipal governments are desperate to bump up their coffers. They're getting hammered on all the property tax valuations going down, so they're collecting much less in property tax. So they've got to come up with new revenue streams. Why not? This is one guy on a computer instead of hiring a helicopter or going out with all the permit police.
It's another fight we're going to have where the conditions change and everybody wants to either use it for their advantage or lock it down with laws. Larry Lessig has a really good story at the beginning of Free Culture about how there was I think it was a chicken farmer, if I remember right, who was trying to get them to stop flying over his farm because he claimed he owned the airspace. He's like, I own the ground and I own everything above it, and you can't fly over my farm without permission. And it's disturbing my chickens. So you got to stop. And he lost the case because they basically had to reinterpret, like, okay, wait a minute. Now that we can fly, this is a question. It was never a question before, but now that it is, we got to figure out who does own the airspace. Do you just own everything above your land, or is there a top? And this is the same thing. It's like, okay, now that we can take pictures from space of everything, and it's easy, and it's available on the internet for everyone to see, do we change any privacy laws? Is anything different? What can you use that for?
We'll keep you posted on the hubbub that ensues.
Google Earth really, really bothers my chickens, I have to say. And I'm after it.
I'm going to paint the FBI logo at the bottom of my illegal pool.
Well, I did see one person had posted in the comment section that there are these pool covers that look like dirt. So you can put that over your pool cover to keep the water from evaporating and keep the the heat up, and it just looks like a little dirt patch in your backyard.
Yeah, they also sell camo pool covers as well.
And here in California, they sell ones that look like marijuana patches.
Yes.
So that you won't get busted for having an illegal pool.
I'm gonna get one that has the FBI logo on it.
Oh, that's a good call. That's a good call.
Okay, folks, we got to take a break, and thanks to our sponsors, Go to Assist Express. If your job's in tech support, you're going to want to check out Go to Assist Express. It's an easy way for you to save time and money. You don't have to drive. You don't have to fly. You don't have to even go to your client's or colleague's house. It's brought to you by our friends at Citrix, which Leo is a big fan of. It's an easy and secure way to support your clients and colleagues online. Enables you to see problems on their machine without having to be there. So you log in to Go to Assist Express. You see what they see. You can move around, change settings. You can chat with them, find out what's wrong, teach them what's wrong, maybe get them to not do that problem again. But the best part is you don't have to pre-install any software on your customer's machine. That means you can start supporting them as soon as they get in contact with you with the problem. You start your session with one click, just like all services on Citrix, and you send the person you're helping an instant email, works on PCs and Macs, and you share your screen, fix the problem, and go back to eating the Cheetos or whatever it was you were doing before.
Remember I went to New York really late last week, and I got in at midnight, and I'm on the escalator going down to the baggage claim. There are these two guys in front of me, and one guy turns to the other and he goes, "Dude, we could have Citrixed that. It was so dumb for us to do that trip." I was like, that's awesome. A nice testimonial.
So not only can you save money on travel, but you can also try Go to Assist Express for 30 days. If you're sitting there skeptical, like, I bet it doesn't work as well as you're saying it works, Merritt, go try it out. Go to assist.com/TNT. Check it out for 30 days. See if you like it. I'm guessing you probably will. I'd also like to have Lala back. Remember Lala.com? Lala, I had all my music up there, and I could access it from any computer and play it, and it was legal. And I could buy songs from Lala, and often they were cheaper at Lala than they were at Amazon. And then Apple bought it, and we were all excited, like, oh, it's going to become iTunes, iTunes.com, and then they haven't done crap with it.
Poof.
Gone. It's all out there in the ether.
Gone.
No more Lala. CNET had a really interesting story speculating that, according to their sources, they are going to do Lala with video before music. So sometime by the end of the year, we would see a Lala-like video service where all the videos you buy would be available in the cloud. And this might be combined with some new Apple TV that was cloud-based. You'd be able to get all your videos on your iPad, your iPhone, your computer without having to download them. So a lot of people are speculating that this could be the reason why the iPhone didn't have increased capacity, because they're just going to start going cloud with stuff. It would be easier for them to negotiate deals for video this way because video has DRM on it, whereas music is not DRM'd, and the music industry is still kind of upset at Steve Jobs for dominating the landscape and fixing prices and being intractable about variable pricing. And so I could totally see Apple doing this and saying, well, fine. You don't want to deal with us on music? We'll just do video. You'll see how popular it is. Then you'll want to do it.
And even more cloud-based music and media news today. RDO, or radio, or RDIO, depending on how you want to say it. This is the streaming music service founded by the guys who founded Skype. They have gone live for everybody on their website and also on various and sundry mobile devices. They've got deals in place with all of the big four labels, EMI, Sony, Universal, Warner Music Group. And that was the initial complaint about them, right? Their catalog was kind of meh.
They got all the big ones now.
And they also have a lot of indie music. They have aggregators that they've signed on. And, you know, Ars Technica did a really good explanation for people who aren't familiar with this service and how it differentiates itself from Lala and Pandora and some of the other streaming services. Basically, it uses your iTunes library as a starting point, replicates that, to my understanding, and has suggestions, and you can access that from anywhere.
And that was the knock, is when they didn't have all four big labels, they can only replicate music that they have licenses for. So they wouldn't replicate most of your music because they didn't have, now they have all big four labels. It still might not replicate every single thing in there if you got indie music, but it will replicate a large portion of it.
And as we said, the news today is that it's gone live for everyone. It's $4.99 for the web-only version, $9.99 if it's on a device. And we did try and actually sign in from, I downloaded it from the App Store for my iPhone. I tried to sign in. They said, oh, yeah, we're not doing any invitations yet. But when I actually went to the website and signed up, then I was able to get that all together.
Now, how is it, do you think, that RDO is able to go and make this deal with four labels to do essentially what Lala was doing, in a way, and Apple can't?
Yeah, it's definitely, Apple's the new Titanic, and all the up-and-comers are the Zodiacs. They're more nimble. They don't have the baggage. They can make relationships more quickly because probably they're willing to bend more and accept more of the constraints from the labels.
Who's
Agreed?
the iceberg?
Well, that is the question. That's a good...
It's always Microsoft.
Hillary Rosen.
Somehow it always is.
I think it's, I think it's the music industry. They just plopped up an iceberg in front of the Apple Titanic. And meanwhile, Spotify can't get the license deals yet either. So how did RDO do it? What did they have? What pictures of the RIAA sleeping with
a giraffe,
a porpoise? Yeah, whatever. I don't know.
Wow, we're both on the same dirty picture
General
wavelength.
Strange animal. Let's move on.
Yikes.
Next iPad likely to include a camera so you can snap that picture of a giraffe and a porpoise next time you see him.
More likely you can FaceTime with that giraffe and the porpoise. That's what's really going to happen, don't you think? This is all about video conferencing.
This is coming from Apple Insider. They say a document of Apple's iPad management policies, that's the thing that lets IT departments decide what features corporate users can access, talks about planning to add a camera to upcoming models of the iPad.
Smoking gun. Also, there's a job listing for a performance QA engineer, iPad Media. And it's, quote, looking for a software quality engineer with a strong technical background to test still video and audio capture.
So, I don't think this is a big stretch. I think everyone is expecting an iPad camera. There's a freaking space. When I fix it, door open iPad, there's a space for the camera in the iPad. I think it would be more of a shocker if we found evidence that they weren't going to have the next version of the iPad without a camera. When are we going to see the next version of the iPad? It's probably going to be what?
Well, it's not going to
February,
be holiday.
March?
Yeah.
Next year? Yeah, it's good because they like to put a year between these models generally.
But this also corroborates my conspiracy theory about now, really, Apple's competing with Skype, so there's no way they're opening up the APIs for the FaceTime to interact with Skype.
I don't know about that conspiracy theory. I think you're off the rails there.
Who's with me, chat room?
Go ahead. I'm not stopping you. I'm not getting in your way. Lead your crusade.
It's so rare I have a conspiracy theory or a rant. I need to just run with it.
How about this? iPad will come out with 3D viewing so that you can view the new Justin Bieber biopic.
And he's starring in his own biographical movie.
He's going to be in the biopic as himself?
Justin Bieber will be playing himself.
It's a stretch.
In the movie of his life.
Stretching his acting chops.
In 3 dimensions.
That's the tech angle.
Will he really be believable?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. Directed by?
The guy who did Inconvenient Truth. What's his name?
Who cares? He did Inconvenient Truth, and he's doing a biopic in 3D on Justin Bieber.
So wait a minute. This is going to be a 3D video, a 3D movie of Justin Bieber standing with maybe a growth chart talking about his life.
Yeah, I don't see the visuals, in terms of the director connection. Usually they're all about bringing innovation and what? Who? This isn't right as wonky as the FBI going after WikiLeaks. This is a day of what were you thinking?
All right, that's a stretch for a tech news show. How about this? This is a real meaty story here.
Waiting.
Prankster walks into local Apple store and jailbreaks an iPhone while TWiT-viding it.
That's good stuff.
So he just, because you can just go to jailbreakme.com and all the iPhones have web access. And he had an iPhone, I guess, with TWiT video. I don't know. It could have been a Droid. And so he walked up and picked up the old iPhone and just surfed to jailbreakme.com.
And if you haven't heard of this website before, this is really interesting. It's an in-browser way of jailbreaking your phone. All you have to do is hit a slider that's on this website, and boom, it goes right through the process for you. No programming, no scary stuff. Just slide, and you're done. You're jailbroken.
Jailbroke my iPad yesterday on the show.
Now, okay, let's just talk about jailbreaking. Why? Why? I mean, I understand you get a few more apps, you get a couple of things.
You can tether without having to pay extra.
Okay, that's compelling. That's compelling.
Or wait for them to finally allow it. You can turn it into a hotspot.
Well, isn't that kind of the same? Well, yeah, okay, got it.
You could turn your phone into a hotspot. What else? You could access it on T-Mobile.
Well, that I like.
Yeah.
That I like.
You could switch to a different provider.
How much of this, though, from a concept is just
you can turn off all those restrictions that say, like, for instance, FaceTime has to be over Wi-Fi. You can turn those off in jailbreak. You can do everything over 3G.
Really? I didn't know that. See, This is very instructional. Thank you, Tom. I did not know that. I have been listening to a lot of talk about jailbreaking, and I did not know all of these functional uses. Now, one thing I would say is I think that the word jailbreaking is brilliant because it sounds so rebellious.
Well, it always puts AC/DC in my head.
Oh.
As does TNT. I get a lot of AC/DC going on in my head.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel your rage often.
You should know, though, if you do jailbreakme.com, that it is taking advantage of an exploit based on PDFs. It's not an Adobe hole. It's a way that Safari displays the PDFs. They found a hole in a particular font, and that's why they're able to do this over the web. So you go to a website, and it uses these PDFs to create the exploit, take control of your machine, and jailbreak it. However, you should realize that if they can do that, anybody can do that. So you need to be careful viewing PDFs or visiting unknown websites on an iPhone until more is known about this particular vulnerability or until Apple fixes it. Now, one practice that I read that you can do if you want to be safe browsing on your iPhone until this is plugged is have an app that tells you, hey, there's a PDF that wants to open. I'm warning you, do you want to open it? So that you don't accidentally surf to a page and open a bunch of PDFs without knowing it.
Right.
You have to jailbreak your phone to take advantage of that app. So to prevent yourself from falling to the vulnerability that allows jailbreaking, you need to jailbreak your phone, which voids your warranty.
But protects your phone.
Yeah.
It is just so circuitous. It's the snake eating its own tail.
And just to be absolutely clear, yes, it voids your warranty.
Yeah, we'll get to that in the voicemail too. We'll repeat it.
Okay,
Good.
A lot
over and over again
in this show, and we'll explain why. But before we get to the voicemails, shall we do a round of lightning?
Let us do a round of the lightning.
StarCraft 2 sales topped 1 million in the first 24 hours of sales and 1.5 million copies in 48 hours, making it the biggest PC game debut in 2010. It also becomes the fastest-selling strategy video game of all time, according to PC World. I got mine yesterday, my collector's edition. I got my my USB dog tag. Right
Whoa.
Yeah.
Tom. Wow, can I just reach out and touch it?
Yeah, here.
I mean your dog tag?
I can't
Oh.
get it over my head, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. See, check it out. It I know this is supposed to be lightning round, but when you plug it in, it lights up.
Whoa.
Uh-huh.
I just got to see what Tom looked like at age 7 unwrapping Christmas presents. It was pretty darn cute.
Yeah, pretty much.
On that note, the Semiconductor Industry Association is reporting a 50% jump in chip sales versus 2009. Now, that puts sales a bit above the big peak in 2008. And some studies warn that sales could slow down in the second half of the year. And this is really a question of, okay, this is server ramp up for cloud computing, and normally that's followed by another ramp up as clients are upgraded, but because it's cloud computing, all that stuff's going to be done in the browser. So maybe this is it, the big bump, and then we stabilize and go.
In the ongoing ping-pong match that is accessibility of Google in China, a Q&A page is now reported to be blocked. The page is hosted in Hong Kong, but would allow Chinese citizens to ask questions and receive links to pages with possible answers. And, of course, as you can guess, recent questions have involved Tiananmen Square and other protests.
If you guys remember the story about the retina-burning lasers, they kind of looked like lightsabers. Well, Lucasfilm sent a cease and desist letter to Wicked Lasers, the makers of these devices, back in June. But they've just backed down. Lucasfilm has just backed down saying, hey, you know what? If you want to sell lasers that look like little kids' products, the ones that we sell, but they're actually industrial-grade weapons, that's cool so long as you're saying they aren't meant to look like our lightsabers.
Also, if they didn't want people to know about these lasers, threatening to sue is the wrong thing because this company's made bank.
Nice marketing ploy.
New York's Metropolitan Transit Authority has finally reached an agreement with a company called Transit Wireless, which will add wireless internet access to all subway stations. Stations close enough to each other may even allow for uninterrupted service between stations. This will also allow phone calls as well, so get ready for annoying phone calls on the New York subway.
Hey.
Boo. Google is rolling out a feature that allows you to sign in to multiple Google accounts simultaneously from the same browser. Thank God. When you go to the Google Accounts page, you look for the multiple sign-in option. If you don't see it, be patient because Google is rolling it out ever so slowly.
Yes. I haven't got mine yet. I haven't checked in the past 20 minutes, but I hadn't got it yet. I'm looking forward to that because then I could have my regular Gmail account, my Sword and Laser account, my Forecast account, my Tech News Today account, all in one place.
Geek. I was looking forward to yesterday's big announcement from PopCap Games, the makers of Plants vs. Zombies. So in the calendar today, let's start off with the excitement that didn't happen.
We saved the date.
Nothing. There was a party last night in San Francisco, and we thought that it would be Plants vs. Zombies 2. A whole new 100 hours of time-sucking.
That's it? That's all we were supposed to save the date for is so some invited people could go have a party?
There was no Plants vs. Zombies 2. It was the announcement of the Xbox adaptations of PvZ. That's coming to Xbox Live Arcade September 9th. It's going to be a boxed edition in late September. They also announced a Game of the Year edition for the PC Mac game, and that basically lets you make a zombatar, like an avatar zombie that you create your own custom zombie. A couple more achievements, but nothing really compelling.
All right.
And the biggest Plants vs. Zombie news that came out, to appease the estate of the Michael Jackson family, they have gotten rid of Thriller, and they brought in Danny Terrio Zombie. Well, that's not his exact name. He's a disco zombie.
Disco zombie, all right.
Replacing the Michael Jackson-esque zombie.
So Disco Zombie and Xbox 360 Plants vs. Zombies. That's all we got. All right.
More calendar news. Android 2.2 Froyo upgrade now available for the HTC Evo 4G.
Yep, and also out there for the Droid as well, trickling out, although no hotspot function for the Droid users.
It's a conspiracy, I tell you. It can
Drood.
do it, man. Xbox 360 Slim 4GB Arcade Edition now available.
Yep.
Tom?
Yeah, this is the one that is cheaper. It's like $199. Doesn't have a hard drive built in. You have to buy the hard drive separately. If you can buy the hard drive separately, which we've seen a leaked photo suggest maybe you'll be able to. Haven't seen any out today, but maybe they're out there. Keep your eyes open.
Now, do also keep your eyes open. Tonight is a big night if you're into solar flares across the sky. Well, I don't know if it's a flare. Okay, don't beat me up on the science here. I'm not Dr. Kiki. I'm going to do my best. So here's what happened, or is happening. A solar plasma aurora storm.
A coronal mass ejection.
We'll get back to that. So here's the analogy as I understand it. Check me if I'm right here, said the science guy. The sun has a big pimple. A huge coronal mass ejection.
The sun is a miasma of incandescent plasma.
Wow. Ooh. Now, you may think this mass ejection could destroy our Earth, but luckily our magnetic poles and the magnetic field around the Earth protects us.
Will they hold?
I hope so. And it diffuses the radiation, and so much diffusion that could create
Pretty light show.
aurorae, a.k.a. Northern Lights, really low. Seattle, Minnesota, Vermont. That's pretty unusual this
Places
time
you
of
don't
year.
normally see the Northern Lights. We'll see some Northern Light action.
Possibly. You definitely
tomorrow.
want to go to the dark spots. So
Yeah.
if you're in Seattle, get yourself out to Issaquah. If you're in Minnesota, get up north in the lakes. And if you're in Vermont, get out of Burlington. You're going to see them.
Yeah. I'm excited, as long as we don't all die.
I don't think you're
from
going to see
failing
them.
magnetic radiation.
Are we going to see them?
No, but they'll be on webcams.
I love you for that. I love that gets you excited.
On to the voicemail. Our voicemail today is a question that has been on many minds. We've received, I don't know, half dozen emails about this same question. So let's hear it out and get it over with once and for all.
Hey guys, love the show. Quick question: if it's now legal to jailbreak your iPod, though, my friends still want to know: can Apple still void your warranty?
Yes.
Let me know. Again, love the show. Thanks.
Yes.
Okay, but
I
can they
feel
void your warranty?
I feel like we said, Eric, did we say this?
Tom, can they
we
void your
did.
warranty?
I think we said this.
Tom.
I think we noted this, but
Tom, can they void your warranty?
we got a bunch of people wrote in, so we must not have been very clear. Jailbreaking your phone now legal in certain instances under an exemption to the DMCA does still void your warranty. Apple can still say, look, we're not going to warrant your phone if you go and jailbreak it. Just like if you were to pop the case open, they can say, oh, you've opened the case. It's now out of warranty. Same sort of deal. You jailbroke it, you fix it.
But can it void your warranty?
But it can't. Well, I'm glad you asked that because I don't know if we mentioned it could also void your warranty.
But warranty-wise, can it void?
Right. The warranty, if not previously voided, will then be void.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said it 6 ways to Sunday. I think we've done it, guys.
All right, I
really
hope so.
good work. Really quality journalism.
And thank you, Mr. Voicemail Person, for giving us that opportunity to clarify.
Right. Some email now. We talk about the red box, where you can get the DVDs at the store, and someone wrote in about this.
Yeah, Phil wrote in, said he has seen the Blockbuster blue boxes popping up at gas stations in northeast Wisconsin, and they look pretty much like Redbox. They're just big blue boxes, and they got DVDs in them. So if you're looking for one, it's going to look like a Redbox, except it's blue and it has a Blockbuster logo on it. But yeah, it's Blockbuster's way to stay in the game, They've been hanging on by their fingernails for 10 years now.
It's so funny. I've known it was coming, but when the Blockbuster finally shut its doors in my little suburb, it was kind of traumatic.
Yeah.
I just felt like, okay, era, ending, boom, done.
Yeah.
No more DVD stores.
Well, it's like when that Tower Records went up, belly up in North Beach.
Yeah.
Because it was on a corner. It was on a prominent corner. It was sort of an iconic thing. Like, oh, you turn right by the Tower Records. Now gone.
Another email here, and this is from Joshua Walderbach in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I just wanted to help promote an event close to me going on this weekend. As a gaming crowd, I thought it would be relevant. Gamers will be honored during the Big Bang 2010 Ottumwa's Video Game Festival from August 5th to August 8th in Ottumwa, Iowa. The festival will feature contestants, concerts, dealer showrooms, panel discussions.
Oh, very state fair.
That's right. Historic museum displays, and Atari founder and Pong creator Nolan Bushnell will be enshrined, along with Billy Mitchell, owner of the world record in Donkey Kong, and professional gamer Jonathan Fatality Wendell.
So
Now,
they got some big names to come out to this. This is a real deal Hall of Fame here.
hey, Nolan Bushnell. I mean, Chuck E. Cheese, man. Come on.
Yeah. Well, they say they'll be enshrined. It doesn't say if they'll be there.
Oh. Will be enshrined.
Yeah.
They couldn't
Oh.
even get the guy who beat Donkey Kong.
It's like somebody may accept on their behalf.
Hey, if I was a gamer in Ottumwa, Iowa, and little trivia question, don't answer, boys, don't answer. What famous television character was from Ottumwa, Iowa?
What do they get if they get it right?
To not be annoyed by the nagging desire to know.
Answer will be revealed at the end of the show.
But it is the end of the show.
Oh, no, we have one more. We have a Twitter post, actually, from Extreme Data User who says, regarding getting IE to open in private mode every time, edit your IE target shortcut and place -private at the end. This will make sure that IE opens with the in-private filter on every time.
Because otherwise, you'd have to set that every time you open the browser.
Yeah. You have to go to Tools and select it, and you have to leave that window open. If you close that window, it goes away. And then when you close the browser, it goes away altogether.
And basically, this doesn't share your browsing with the maker of the browser, in this case, Microsoft.
A lot of people pointed out that Firefox and Chrome also do not have it by default, their private browsing modes, but you can turn them on to be default, and you cannot do that in Internet Explorer unless you use this little trick.
Ottumwa, Iowa.
Is
Radar O'Reilly from MASH.
Radar, he always knew when the choppers were coming
That's right.
in.
And you pointed out there was another little trivia question about.
Yeah, he was the only cast member to be played by the same actor in all 3 variations of MASH: the movie, the television series, and the spin-off after MASH.
Wow.
That's it for TNT. You can send us an email, tnt@twit.tv. Find us on the web at twit.tv/TNT, or give us a call. 260-TNT show is the phone number. We won't ridicule you like we did our voicemailer today, I promise. That was a one-time thing.